So Lupita is in this movie, and that triggered a great deal many people. But to be quite honest, that's not the major problem with it. The major problem with it is that the trailer is just okay. And really, for something that's supposed to really kind of evoke epic, coming off as okay, I don't know if that makes it. Then I'm going to double down on what I said, Pat. I don't really have a problem with having swarthy people present in ancient Greece. Swarthy people were present in actual ancient Greece. Problem is, and I'm going to go directly to the ancient Greek, the problem is the description from the book of Helen. So let's go through a complete description of Helen. So, Iris Dante, Elene, Luco Leno, Agelos, Elten. And this means that Iris in turn came as a messenger to white-armed Helen. Now, there's two heavily melanated women on the cast. Of the two, just based on the actual book, if you actually wanted, and I mean like the version by Homer, if you wanted to do something that really sort of like quote unquote popped, then potentially you would have Zendaya play Helen. And I'm saying that because in the actual ancient Greek world, there easily could have been someone of her complexion. And I'm not being colorist. I'm just, once again, I'm dealing with what's in the text. But then again, Zendaya also is not white-armed. And then the bigger issue, because of, quote-unquote, the controversy, whether it's merited or not, this has set up what should have been like a movie to really forget about it, hit into kind of like this thing where all this attention is being focused on whether it's a quote-unquote on one extreme a blackwash or on another extreme a whitewash. I'm not going to get into either conversation. The video's not about that. Some might say, why not? I don't really discuss that on this channel. Not useful. That's what I want to say on that. But getting back to this thing, I think it's really sort of like important that there are other passages, like for example, it describes her as Santos, which I believe means blonde, and I'll double check it in a couple seconds. So let's go ahead. We're going to take an example from the Iliad where we talk about Achilles. So, Santos de comes ele peleona. Okay, Zantes come ele peleona. In this case, Athena sees the son of Peleus by his golden hair. So what's the point of what I was doing? Some people might say, well, hey, why are you talking about Santos or Santos, and why are you getting to ancient Greek? Because like all of these things are kind of like important if we're getting into like what did the authors that depicted Helen say about Helen. So I think really, for example, based on what's written in the text, that if they had cast, and they did cast, Lupita in two roles, I think Clytemnestra and I think Helen. I think definitely for Helen, at the bare minimum, they should have dyed her hair. And some people might say, oh, that doesn't mean anything. No, actually, that would have been more kind of accurate to in terms of the swarthy people that did actually reside in Europe. They had like blonde hair, and they had different variations of hair color, and also different variations of eye color. And breaking away from discussing whether Lupita is viable or is not viable, and I'll state that I think Lupita is a very good actress. So I'm not one of those people I'm going there. But going back to the trailer, which is a little bit kind of like in some ways a non sequitur, but then it's a sequitur in that it's okay. And I don't think Nolan was going for okay. I think Nolan was going for something that was really going to move you, something that was going to be like, let me cancel everything and get my behind out of the seats. But I gotta be honest, if the thumbnail doesn't do it for me, and if I see the trailer and it's just kind of like I'm tempted to pause it, it's probably not going to move the needle. Hopefully, I'm probably wrong, but I tend to think that this is just going to be okay. And I'm saying that not because of the quote-unquote multicultural cast, but because of, if you've watched me for any point in time, you know the main thing I come back is to the writing. I think that there's probably a lot of missings, or misses as well with the writing, and that's the real problem. And just based on the trailer, there's nothing really calling to me like, yeah, let's go and see it. Nah, it's just okay. And I don't know if that's enough. Incidentally, if you made it this far, thanks for watching.
Tu as peur de me faire confiance? Peut-être.
Alors voyons.
Pas ici. Trop de monde.
Alors quand?
Quand tu seras prête.
Now, meet TalkFlow.pro, the language app that lets you choose any 2 languages, free. Pick them and start talking.
How much is this?
€5. €5. Instant translations, offline mode, and fun practice games keep you talking anywhere. 2 free languages.
Sabías la verdad y no me lo dijiste.
Pensé que te estaba protegiendo. ¿Todavía crees eso? No. Pero todavía te quiero. Todavía.
Understand more than words.
Ever wish you could read the scriptures exactly as the first hearers did? TalkFlow.pro brings the ancient Greek text into focus with instant parsing, interlinear translation, and live conversation.
Logos.
La palabra. 말씀.
Study the scriptures in ancient
What do
Greek.
I think he should have done? Well, I think the minute that he cast Lupita, he probably should have cast everybody or most of the cast and had quote-unquote melanated people or so-called black people. That's what I think he should have done. I think he should have done a mostly quote-unquote black cast and dialed up the controversy. But just controversy in of itself is not really enough. I think, if anything, like the writing's got to be there. But that's just my 2 cents, and I'll see you when I see you.